Good morning. My name is Benjamin Moeller. I'm a paleontologist and horseback riding skeptic. That's right. I think everyone who's ever claimed to have ridden a horse is lying on behalf of the government and Big Horse. There's no way that's possible. But regardless, today is day 6 on the Menefee expedition out here in northwestern New Mexico. We're looking for 80 million year old dinosaur, turtle, croc fossils, hopefully mammals and some other reptiles as well. And today the crew is splitting in two, so I'm going to be supervising excavations in a section I showed you 2 days ago where some big dinosaur bone has been cropping out, and the rest of the crew is going to be taking a hike from one area to another, kind of checking out a corner of one of our permitted sections that we haven't explored yet. So let's get to it. So here's the site I'm working today. This is what a typical paleontologist workspace looks like. And you might not be able to see it quite yet, but there is in fact a fairly large dinosaur bone in this hole right here. So if we get a little closer, you can see a coal seam where my finger is going right there. And this yellowish and this gray, this is mudstone. And then this chocolate brown looking material down here with these little flecks of white. And we get really close now so you can see. Actually, I'm not going to touch that so it doesn't fall out of place. That's the dinosaur bone. So this whole chunk right here is part of a fossil that was partly excavated a couple of days ago. And we're here to get the rest. So I'm going to take this. This is some glue. That is quite literally how we keep stuff together, is with just literally glue. And it'll hold it together well enough to take back to the lab to clean up. This is another one of the bones that I'm supervising in this area today. This is a really large dinosaur rib. Look at how thick that thing is all the way around. Probably from one of the big herbivorous dinosaurs based off of the shape, but it's pretty hard to diagnose just off of ribs. And I mean, you can imagine, just compared to like a cow rib, how much larger this animal would have been. We have Joni working on this one because she's a vegetarian, so she won't be tempted to eat it. More of this piece has been exposed now, so you can see what we were looking at earlier. And all of this also happens to be dinosaur bone. It's not in great shape. And in fact, you can even see where roots have been attacking the bone and decomposing it. But this is, in fact, all dinosaur bone as well. So this is a really flat piece with some interesting curvature to it on one side. So this is all going to have to be thoroughly soaked in glue in order to stay together. So I've glued and reburied that portion I was showing you earlier in tinfoil for protection, and I've gone up and around in order to get around this to see where it lands, and I managed to run into more bone. So this is another expanse. It's thinner in both dimensions. It's thinner on this side, and it's not quite as wide. And the curvature, assuming these are the same, which I'm pretty sure they are, is, I would say, indicative of something like a shoulder blade. There are a couple of other options which are a little bit cooler, but until we get to look at it in a lab, I'm going to call this a big dinosaur shoulder blade. So now this is going to be hit with glue as well, and we're going to see if we can connect the two pieces. The key here is not exposing too much because it's fragile, and you really want to be doing the fine detail prep under laboratory settings. But this guy is going to get some glue. Here's what it looks like now. As expected, we were able to connect this end all the way to the original piece. You can see how it starts out thick. This is closer to where it would connect with kind of the front of the chest and a disc-like piece called the coracoid as part of the pectoral girdle. And then you get the shoulder blade, which is what's continuing back here. So we're going to require a lot of glue. Definitely the most substantial bone that we've collected this far this year. Here it is a little while later. The sun has shifted so you can see it with a little bit more clarity. There we go.
You are pretty stuff.
We have the visitor.
You're a pretty visitor.
So here's the state of the scapula after another few hours of work. It's been recently glued so you can see exactly where the bone is. It's just a beautiful piece. I'm really excited about this. And we're going to have to come back in a little bit to finish trenching around on that backside so we can take this all out in one piece. So you will get to see that another time. Break time's over. Heading back out. Hello. This cute little croc-osteoderm, probably small Deinosuchus, based off of the pitting and the inflation in cross-section. Just appeared close to the dinosaur material, so that's really cool. So again, you can see the pits. You can see it's thick in cross-section. They have a distinct texture on the ventral surface. And even though this is small, it isn't necessarily from a young animal. The osteoderms on the neck, also known as nuchal osteoderms, tend to be around this size. So that's really cool. Here he is. We've got the setting sun and TP all over the top. It is ready for its plaster.
Just tap it for good luck.
Yeah.
Baby.
Oh, still wet, not yet set. So we'll have to sit and then we will collect.